Now I want to bring the children on the stage for you to get to know them. Let me begin by someone that you will get to hear his name a lot, and that is Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu. In a nutshell, Anas was the servant of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he used to joke with him, he used to say Unais, Unais. And Anas means happy, means keeping company. It's a lovely name, and it's short. Anas, by the way, died at the age of 103. But let's go to Anas, the 10 years. Anas is the servant of the Prophet ﷺ, and he continued to be with Rasul ﷺ for 10 years inside the household. This is a fascinating thing, by the way. I'm talking about a child who was continuously in the house, who saw the wives of Rasul ﷺ, who can answer a lot of the questions that we've been asking. Anas, did Rasul ﷺ used to clean the dishes? No, it was me sometimes. Sometimes he would help. Anas, go and buy me something from the shop. Anas was instructed. So Anas knew everything. When Rasul ﷺ died, Anas was 20 years old. So Anas knew Rasul ﷺ when he was 10. Bear in mind that Anas was in Medina only. So whenever we speak about Mecca, there is no Anas. Another hero in our narrative to introduce the characters is Al-Hasan ibn Ali. He had a 1 year younger than him brother who was called Al-Hussein. Al-Hasan was born 3 years before Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated to Medina. So that tells you that Ali ibn Abi Talib married his mother, the mother of Hassan, i.e. married Fatima at such a young age. And Fatima and Ali were young. They grow with each other. And the more shared experience there are, the stronger the bond. Sadly, Hassan died when he was 46, so quite a young age. And Al-Hasan, when he was born, Rasul ﷺ was at that time 56. Whenever you see Rasul ﷺ playing with Al-Hasan, it is someone who's at the age of 2 being played with by someone at the age of 56 and 57 and 58, 59. Al-Hasan ibn Ali radiallahu anhu, he looked exactly like Rasul ﷺ. In fact, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he says to Ali, he looks like Rasul ﷺ, he does not look like you. And Ali ibn Abi Talib is smiling. Pleasure, honor. They say that Al-Hasan, from his chest to the face, looks like Rasul ﷺ, and Al-Hussein from the bottom to the feet looks like Rasul ﷺ. Each one took half of the upper half and the lower half. And it goes beyond doubt. And Rasul ﷺ said it many times, that, oh Allah, Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein are the most beloved to me. Another companion is Abdullah ibn Abbas. Abdullah ibn Abbas is quite famous and you all know him. But do you know that he only encountered the Prophet ﷺ for 2.5 years? This is because Al-Abbas, his father, became Muslim and he only migrated to Medina when Mecca was conquered. So he migrated to Medina, Al-Abbas, that is, quite old. The uncle of Rasul ﷺ that I mentioned his name. Abdullah ibn Abbas was his son. When he came to Medina, he was quite young. Abdullah ibn Abbas was born 3 years before Rasul ﷺ migrated into Medina. So how old was Rasul ﷺ? 50. And if Rasul ﷺ died at the age of 63, then how old was Abdullah ibn Abbas when Rasul ﷺ died? Abdullah ibn Abbas, the one that you call a scholar, he was 13. Can you believe that? Not only that, but he wasn't like Anas. He only lived with Rasul ﷺ for 2.5 years because he only saw the Prophet when Mecca was conquered. And soon after that, Rasul ﷺ died. So in fact, he encountered the Prophet ﷺ exactly, if you wanted in months, 30 months only. But do you know why we know him as a scholar? Because Rasul ﷺ made a special dua for him. Allahumma faqihhu fi d-din wa allimhu at-ta'wil. Oh Allah, educate him in the deen and teach him interpretation. That's why you have the tafsir of Abdullah ibn Abbas. Imagine a 13 years old boy having his own tafsir. Why? Because for these 2.5 years, that was sufficient for him to know the Quran inside out. Why? Because he was with the Prophet ﷺ most of the time. praying with him, riding the donkey with him, joking with him. And that, if anything, tells you who Rasul was hanging around with. If the servant was a child, and his best friend was Abdullah ibn Abbas, where is Abu Bakr? Where is Umar? Where is Uthman? Bakr, Umar and Uthman, this is the classic camera. But our camera is telling us another reading, that there were other companions, young companions, teenagers. But they were not smokers, they were not chasing girls, but they were after Rasul to learn the Quran and to educate it to you. Final character, and you know him very well, Abdullah ibn Umar. Abdullah ibn Umar actually is quite old. Quite old in the sense that when Rasul died, he was 20. He migrated to Medina when he was 10, and he remained 10 years with Rasul, and when Rasul died, he was 20. And again, 10 years were enough to make Abdullah ibn Umar the pious, the zahid, the well-known companion, not just because he was the son of Umar al-Khattab, but because he was Abdullah ibn Umar, but because he was one of the children that were blessed to accompany Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam.